Good morning everyone, and welcome to a new video. Now today, if you know me, you know that I wouldn't say weird things, but I like weird techniques, or not weird techniques, but techniques that are not commonly used, techniques that maybe people have heard of, but I've always been afraid to, I don't know, try it. But I'm pretty sure that maybe 80% of all of you watching this video right now are looking at me with big eyes, like thinking, what is the Tokyo rig? Now, it is a real thing, and basically it's a drop shot, a sort of drop shot for pike. I've always wanted, with the success of the presentation of a drop shot, that you can leave a bait fluttering for a long period of time in front of a fish, to entice that fish of taking the bait. Always enticed me to move that from the perch fishing to the pike fishing. Problem is with the pike fishing is the teeth, the leader, you need big hooks. So I pondered quite some times on this, and one day I found this technique called the Tokyo rig. So the Tokyo rig is basically was created to punch through heavy weed mat to go and get this bass, because it is a bass technique, of course. People fishing largemouth use that technique for quite a few years now, and so much so that it's so popular that now for quite a while VMC, the popular brand of hook, actually do their own Tokyo rig. So this is how it looks like. Now these are the biggest hook on Tokyo rig that I could put my hands on, get my hands on. So there is one with a 4 knot hook and one with a 5 knot hook. Now basically, here you go, pictures is worth 1,000 words. This is the Tokyo rig, this is how it works. So basically I'm going to show you the version that I made for pike and that I've been fishing for quite some time with really good success. So it's just a beefed up version of the one that you have. So this is what we have. We have a nice big BKK Titan wormless hook on a nice stem of heavy stainless steel, and at the bottom all you have to do is put a bullet right at the base. Bend the wire and you're ready to go. So for the bass, the small hook for the bass, I've been using them mostly in the summertime, usually fished through lily pads and things like that with really good success. So something like this type of little fluttering lure with that tail going all the time, moving all the time, and then there's no weight on the stem, but you get the picture. So what I had really good luck with it, and it's again, it's a bait that not too many people fish, at least in Ireland. I don't think I've seen anyone fishing it from my experience, but it's fishing big crayfish. We do have well, now they're kind of hit with the plague here in some parts, but we do have a healthy population of crayfish here, and pike are like really, it's an easy bait for them when they're running out in the open. It's an easy grab for pike. I've seen many times pike, especially big fish, when you put them on your lap for a picture and they're just shitting loads of shell of crayfish. So no doubt that you take them, and like I said, I've been fishing with them and really good success. So there is one that I really enjoy, and that's the big what is it, creek craw. This is the one from Westin, really large crayfish, and this one on a Tokyo rig like this, it's absolutely deadly. I had so many good fish like this. So the beauty of the Tokyo rig is that it's an all year round technique. You can fish it in spring, you can fish it in summer. It just depends where you're going to fish it. It's just a question of changing the location, because you're going to fish the same, you're going to fish something that's going to be dragging on the bottom, because you have that big heavy weight dangling there. That's going to stay on the bottom all the time. But the advantage, you probably think, well, I have Texan hook with the weight included on the bait. So these can do the same thing, can go on the bottom, and I can fish that exactly the same way as your Tokyo rig. But the big advantage with the Tokyo rig is that that bait is anchored on the bottom with the stem and the weight. But the best thing is that your bait is completely free of extra weight. So you have a very natural flutter of the bait. It's not going to sink down like a brick onto the bottom. It's just held by the stem, and that bait is allowed to move very, very naturally. Especially there's some bait where you can, there is foam in the claws to put them a little bit upright. So this really, really works well like that. You have such a natural presentation for a crayfish. Now, not just crayfish, you can put, especially with this big BKK Titan hook, you could put shad, small shads on it. I had good success with the foreplay as well on it. You know, I like to hook them sideways, flat side. Basically a bigger version of any flutter bait like that. You can have something up to 12-15 centimeter, and the pike will take it really, really well. Good thing as well is that when the pike comes and suck in the bait, usually this is what happens. That weight is going to anchor the bait, and that hook is going to go straight into the pike's mouth like this. Usually create a nice suction, and you usually have like a very good hookup ratio with that technique. Now, depending on the time of the year, not talking about winter time, talking about more springtime, autumns, when basically the pikes are either way in the shallows, or at this time of the year, like we're having a late winter. Today it's like 16 degrees this afternoon, I think. So the water is not cold yet, but the pike are kind of standing on the drop-offs at the moment. So this is a really good technique to basically put your boat facing the bank, and I like to just cast this towards the bank, let it sink, and then just drag it nice and slow till you hit that drop off, and then just bounce it on that drop off. And you can leave it and just like twitch it without moving it off the ground, without moving the weight off the ground. You can still leave the weight, but just twitch the thing like this and make it jump. It's a slow technique, which is great for cold water pike. So you can drag this really, really slow, jerk it. Good advantage as well is that this weight is going to create disturbance on the bottom, so it's going to move up some silt, some bottom, whatever is on the bottom, sand or gravel. It's going to make a little bit of sound as well, so it's pretty interesting, especially if you have a bait like a shad that's pointing. This is not a shad, but like you get the picture. If the fish is pointing this way and you have the weight down here like this, it really looks like the fish is rooting on the bottom and absolutely unaware of what's happening, of the big pike looking at him behind. So what else can I say on the Tokyo rig? Yeah, you can customize your stem as well. So instead of one weight like this, you could put two weights. What I like to do is invert this one on the other side. So there's the two hollow part, because you see there's a hollow inside on this bullet weight. And what happened is that the two weights, when you pull this on the ground, you'll get a clinking noise, and that clinking noise gets really loud when you have two weights clicking against each other. If you want more discreet, you can squeeze in the weight so it doesn't move, so like that it just scrapes the bottom. That's another possibility. Very easy to change. The way I built mine, you see, it's very simple. It's the hook, then a split ring with the stainless steel stem and the weight, and another split ring to link to your rod, to your leader, and then to your rod. The rod that I like to use with that, I like to use a spinning rod for that. I feel I have more control for finesse fishing like this. Like a 3000 reel braid, I would go like something like 40 pound, 30 pound, 40 pound braid. I don't want to go too heavy, even if that sounds already heavy for you. But bear in mind that this, you can throw that into branches, heavy cover, and you should get out gel free. Like you shouldn't lose bait. So that is going to give you access to areas really easily. Branches, undergrowth, Works really well as well in big weed beds, potamo beds. You can punch that right down to the bottom and drag this in the summertime, especially when the fish are in the weed beds and they don't feel like coming up to grab your bait, because most people fish these weed beds in the summertime by passing the bait over the weeds. Sometimes they're just happy to sit in the weeds, so this is definitely going to go down and go and search for them and annoy them, and you're going to have like, yeah, you'll be able to search new areas with this rig, I believe. Well, I did with good success. Not only for using with craw, but like with shad. You can use it with an upright shad and just reel it in. Just drop it to the bottom and have a regular reel with stop, and that's gonna flutter on the bottom, stop, flutter on the bottom, stop. Really good if you start your day and on the fish finder all those pikes are just sitting hard on the bottom. You see them that they're not going to move on that day, so putting that bait right beside them in the winter time, it's a really good bait. So there you go, this is the Tokyo rig. You can build it yourself, and I probably will include some on the website as well. If you're lazy to make them, I probably will make a few of them like myself, and you can buy them. I probably will sell them by pairs like that, two Tokyo rigs together. But that's it. Yeah, this is the Tokyo rig, something a little bit different that works. I had really good success. So if you want to give something different, why not try this? Oh yeah, I forgot the rod that I like to use for that. I like to use something that's sensitive enough, because you want to feel everything that's going on. With the braid already, you're going to know what type of bottom you're going to hit on this, because you're going to feel everything. So you want a rod that's sensitive, a sensitive tip to feel every bumps and where you are, and if you're on a branch, if your thing is swinging, if it's stuck on a rock, if it's mud, if it's weeds. You want to be able to know whatever is happening under the water with a nice sensitive tip. But as well, you want a good bit of backbone, because you have one hell of a big butcher hook to set in. So that's the biggest problem, is like the strike has to be powerful with these things. You really want to feel the fish grabbing it, feel that pull, and then give it a good whack, like, you know. So you need a rod fairly strong. So something like medium heavy rod, heavy spinning rod would work great for this. I like a rod between, for me, from a boat, something that's like 2.10 meter to 2.4 meter is something that I kind of like fishing with. And for weight, something that goes up to 60 grams is nice. 60-80 grams max. You like to keep a little bit of finesse in that fishing, with a sweet spot at around 40 grams is really nice to fish these, like, because I fish these with about an ounce weight. Ounce weight will get that down fairly everywhere, like, or you can split and do a half an ounce and half an ounce too, if you want to get really loud and noisy. So there you go, this is the Tokyo rig. I hope I brought you something new. Thanks again for supporting the channel, guys, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.